These days with budgets so tight, it's even hard to replace blinds when they break like this. So as you see, we have one good string in this, and there's two strings that have broken. Okay, and here's part of it. Now you have a choice at this time of getting the same kind of string or improving it. And what we're going to use fishing string instead of this. And hopefully fishing string is going to work out good. And I'm going to show you how to actually repair this. Maybe do a little cleaning, the dusting. I don't know about getting all the... We don't smoke, so I don't know where all this comes. It's probably just regular dirt that comes in here. I don't even know if this is actually washable as it is. But now's the time to do that if you wish. Okay, so I'm going to take this down. There's two screws that's underneath this. Let's see if we can see one from over here. Okay, they're right up there. You got to undo that screw. That one's already undone because I put this back up for the illustration. I was going to throw it this way, but I said, hey, you know, this looks easy enough to fix. So never done this before. That's the original pulley with the other strings on it. We're going to reuse this guy. Okay, and we're probably going to reuse the bottom one too. Only we're going to do something here. Because all the fishing string has to go in here, and you have to know how to tie a knot with the nylon string. So I'm going to show you how to do that too. If you know how to fish, you know how to tie a knot, then you're doing just fine. Okay, so here we go. Okay, compress it as much as you can, all right, and put tension on the string that's still good, so it's all collapsed. On the bottom of the rail, there should be these kind of caps on both sides. For some reason, this side's missing, so what we're going to do is slide this off. Okay, and that reveals the knots that we have to put underneath. Gratefully, these still have the stops that we're going to tie into. Okay, so we're going to replace, let's see, the two that we need to replace is the middle one and the far one. So that's what we're going to be working on. If you leave these all together, we can try and use a needle or something, just you know, feed the string all the way through each one of these. So that's the idea of leaving these together, that you can just pop, you know, put the string through and feed it rather than being all spread out. So it'll just make things a lot easier. The trick's going to be, when we come on top here, we need to thread it through this, through the stopper. Okay, so it locks into place. So, and really hoping that nylon string will actually work in that. That's going to be the trick. In fact, we might actually test that out first to see if it actually works. If not, then we have to go find cotton string, which will eventually break again. Now what I did is I tested the friction, and it does work. Okay, so now I want to show you how I got this in. Try to keep these together, because this is, every time I move this, it's trying to spread out. So you want to do your best. But for this idea, I can always fix it later on. Use the existing string or manipulate it to where you can push in from this side. You want to go this way. This is what's going to dangle outside and go into the clip that we actually pull on. This is the part that's going to run down through the holes. So it's easier to go this way, and you have to go where the little air spot is. And just aim for the light. You're going to need a set of needle nose pliers to reach in there and pull the string up. Okay, so go ahead and do one at a time on that. All right, because you know, you just want to be organized. I rather do one at a time, tie it off, and then run the other one. It just seems like it will be easier for that, to do it that way. What I'm doing now is I pulled out enough string, and you have to manipulate, because every time you pull on this side, the system wants to lock, thinking the curtains are coming down. Now, something I had to do is the bottom part here moved around, and you have to be able to see the hole there. Don't cut another hole. All right, don't cut another hole on this. All right. And it just moved again. So I need to manipulate this to get this back in, and just grab the fabric on the bottom and shift it over. All right, that's the hole you want to see. I'm hoping that you're able to see it. And we're going to stick this new string right through that hole if we can. All right, which we can. Confidence is always a plus. So I'm going to go straight through. I think I can go straight. Actually, I just want to grab it here and pull it through. So our first step, going through this, is done. So now we have to thread it through all these. So I'm going to, I don't know if you're going to be able to see much of what I'm doing. I'm in the cameras, but I just very patiently stick it through and pull it through. And you're going to do, pinch each one and go through both of them at the same time. If you could. If you really pinch them together, it's a lot easier to do. If you run out of string, you can just feed yourself some more string through. But we're going to go down, and we're going to really hope that all of this turns out nice, because like I said, I've never done this before. This is going to be a first time. I don't think that the nylon is going to rip the fabric. I think it's going to do this job by guiding it all the way up and keeping it from folding up and stuff. So I'm going to continue on with this. You could do it on your side if you wish as I do this, and as I thread the next one, I'll show you it again. So what I did is I grabbed about 5, 6 of them at a time, and as long as you can see light, you can stick them all through at the same time. So it went relatively quick. So now you want to make sure you're on the bottom. You can either cut the string or untie it. You need to get this guy. This is going to be where we're going to hook up, take off the old string, and just toss it aside. All right, got to remember that you're going to go in from the bottom or from the top of the thing. So grab the end of your string, go through the top, okay, and come out the bottom. All right, that's the way this is going to work. And then we're going to go through here. Here comes the time to learn how to tie a knot. Okay, so I'm going to do my very best here. You can look up how to tie a fishing knot on a hook. Let me make sure I'm in the video here. I'm going to come over here for you. All right, so consider that this is the hook, and that's the eyelet. I'm going to turn this 3 times. I'm going to go through the loop on the bottom, and there's a loop on top where my finger is, and I'm going to go through that loop too. If I hit it, let's see. It does say, even for an experienced guy, it takes some time to do. Especially if you have really big fingers. It's tough to do sometimes. But I enjoy fishing so much that it never bothers me. So you want to grab it and pull. So that you just tied a fishing knot. And my knots, if they're tied good and tied right, never come out. I've bent fishing hooks. The hooks before the hook will straighten out before my knot breaks. So I have a pair of dikes here. I'm going to cut off the excess, and that is on, and it's going to lock it inside this. So I don't want to pull it tight yet. I want to leave some play on that. So the string's up here, and I'm going to just take up some of the slack and have that sit inside there. Okay, so, and that's it. Okay, so the first one's done. All right, and now we're going to go run the second one, which is the middle one. All right, so I'm going to slide this over, and we're going to do the same thing over here. I need to run a piece of string through this. I need to run a piece of string through this thing, and run it all the way down to this eye over here, and run it through the eye, the hole, run it all the way down, and replace this string down here. Okay, don't want to forget this now. You got to cut the string up here before we can put the string down there. So I'm going to move the camera up a little bit. Okay, got to take your other string that's still good. Okay, and we're going to just walk it through. Keep it tense. We're going to walk it through and find out just how long that's going to be. So I have both the fishing string and the string going through. This is the eyelet that's going to go through. That's going to go through. So I'm going to give it plenty more. I'm going to give it probably another 2 feet. We can always cut it shorter, okay? But we can't make it longer if we're short. So I'm going to cut 2 feet. And so my string is done. So that string we're going to leave over there. And now we're ready to run the other string up. So we're going to unspool some. I'm going to show you, yeah, we're in a good spot. Okay, got to find the light, and I see the light. I'm going to go through this thing and try hitting the light, and it should come out on the other side. And I'm not seeing it. It is a very tight spot. And you can see it's going to take some time doing it, especially if the string is curved. Alright, so, okay, there it is. You got to take your dikes and get the string out. Okay, we're going to run it down to the center. And see, it's locking, so you got to be careful. Okay, let's pull enough through. That should be enough. So let's bring it down to the center here, and we need to line this up when you find that hole. There it is. Okay, on the center. Let me slide this down. Might as well watch me do everything. Okay, where's the string? Oh, I didn't pull. No, I don't think it pulled through. I got to find the string. That's one. That's two. This is one. All right. And I lost the eyelet. So need to find where the eye, and I see it there. We're going to move this back and forth. Find it. We're going to stick the fabric through this. Hey, it went all the way through. Look at that. Can't ask for anything simpler than that. All right. So we're going to grab. We're going to grab about that many. As long as we see the light, and I don't see any light. Yeah, I do. We're going to... It came out through the other side. All right. Grab the next batch. We've got to straighten it out here to grab it. The next batch. And I probably have 10 in there, and I see a light. I got a nice handful. And I see it all the way through. That saves a lot of time rather than going one by one. All right, I need to push up this, make it flat, grab the next, and I see the string there. We need to pull this string through. Get the string out of there. Okay, I see a, wow, that's a tight one, so hopefully I can get through. That's now it's better. Are we going to get it? There it is. All right, I'm going to take it all the way to the bottom. Can I see it? Yes. Taking it out the bottom. Look at that. That is so sweet. Okay, we're going to take this guy off. And it's very loosely done. I'm surprised they didn't put any glue on this or anything. All right, get the string, toss the string. That's done. Remember, come through the top. Turn this over, come through the top. Here, out the bottom. We're going to do our fishing string. Well, here we go with the fishing string again, okay? Just in case you didn't get the first time. We're going to go through, bring it back. This is our hook. Fishing, this is the top of our hook. Spin it 3 times. All right, go through the bottom. Loop. Come up the top through the other loop. Pull it, make it tight, pull it down, and it's not going anywhere. Definitely for our needs here. Okay, the thing's not going to slip off. Take our dikes, cut the excess off. Don't know where it went, I think right there. All right, and that's done. We can actually pull the string from the top to make it tight. We're ready to put this thing back together. Remember the same thing over here. Let's bring this up again. Same thing over here. We need to make this the same length as the other ones. Out this. Okay, so we're going to keep them all together. Run through your hand all together. We're down to the knot. Add 2 feet and cut. Dikes and cut. All right, and there we are. Now we have to go get rid of all this stuff, clean all this up, put this all back together. Actually, we could do that now. Why not? As long as the battery doesn't die on me, on the camera. All right, this has to slide back on. Make sure I can, yeah, you can see that. There we go. I'm looking at the camera, making sure we're still in. Okay, this cap is on. I'm going to try and take that cap off so I can work from this side. All right, you have a hard piece of cardboard in here that we went through. That's the part that has to stay on the bottom. Right, and then we're going to slide this with that in there. Put it all together. And slide it in. All right, so gonna kind of keep them all together and work it in. And this, actually, if you need to adjust your curtains, your shades, this is a way to do it too. You take this bottom off, and you cut along these, and you can actually make it shorter, which I might do because I never knew that. So that's an excellent idea. And how come we're binding? Why are we binding? We're binding because on this side, something happened over here. Okay, let's back it off. There we go. All right, make it all smooth. Push this bottom back and make it. There we go. So that's it. Put your cap back on. I don't know where my other cap went. I'm not even sure if one came with this. And you know what? It's not going back on very. I have to glue it on. It's not snapping on. It's not staying on. So anyway, hey, that's on the bottom. We're going to pull these all up. And make it all tight. Look at that. That's all tight. Is that sweet? And we're going to lock it in too. Look at that. They're not falling down. I am not holding that. That is sweet. I love it when a plan comes together. Hey, that's a finished product, and it works beautifully. If I grab all these, go around my fingers, I got to curl them on my fingers because we don't have a common point yet. All right, now we're going to pull it up, and we're going to let it back down, and we're going to lock it in. All right, so it locks in. It's absolutely level. I'm going to make a separate video on how to shorten this, because when I let this all the way down, okay, it goes all the way down. I don't need it. I don't need it that far. It's only not level because one of the strings didn't tighten up. Okay, so I need it only to come down about right there. This comes all the way down. It's the original one. So I'm going to show you in my next video how to actually shorten this. Okay, but for right now, what we need to do is finish up this string. So let me get this back on the tripod, and I'll show you how to do this. And what I did is I lowered it to where it's sitting on the windowsill, and then up here is where my common spot is. Okay, and I trimmed off all the string that was severely tangled up. So you got to do that, and then we're going to thread through this in this common spot. And this is going to be our pulley. We have to shorten this too. Look how long this thing is. Okay, so we want this to be up here, and it's really handy when it's up here that it's out of the kids, your youngsters' reach. And don't forget, they can get tangled up by this really bad, so keep it out of their reach. All right. A nice thing about this one is in any position, you can actually mount a hook somewhere on the wall, and then have this dangled up there out of the kids' reach. So that's the safety issue. Anyway, let me go ahead and adjust the camera, and we'll get up there and start threading that. Well, two things I'm hoping is that the battery's going to last while I'm doing this, and that you can actually see it. The camera's as high as it's going to go. What I did is I trimmed off the string on this side, and we have some hoops here inside this that we're going to treat like a fishing string, fishing hook. So we're going to bring the fishing string down, go through this hole, out the same one this is. We're going to tie them onto there, and then it's going to lock into place up in there. Any leftover, we're going to trim. All right, so here we go. We're going to do one at a time. Take your string and go down the same hole that this is going down. All right, so, and there it is. Okay, run one through, run the other one through, You're not really worried about anything tangling up there. It's going to be everything's going to be moving at the same time. Okay, so we want all this to be tight, going all the way up. All right, if you don't make that tight, okay, if you don't make that all tight, then what's going to happen is, you know, your blinds are going to come up and down. So we gotta tie this off and keep this tight up here. So this is going to be really tricky. All right, I might have to actually use a different kind of knot. So let me go ahead and do one, then I'll come back and show you how to do the other one. Well, what I did is I went way up high because I didn't like on this this part here is frayed a little bit on the string, so I didn't want that to be an effect later on. So more quality string up here on the fabric string. So that's one knot right now. I'm really hoping you can see that. It slides through this too easy, so we got to put more knots on it, on top of it. So I'm just going around 2 fingers. I'm bringing everything through, and we need to make sure the knot goes on top of that knot. We can adjust it by just aiming it on top of the knot. Okay, so now it's a bigger knot, and we got to fit it in there, and it works. So we pull this thing down, the whole thing comes up, everything moves at once because it's a common point. All right, so that's done, and we need to trim off all this. So we take our dikes. Be sure you're not going to cut the big one, all right? We're going to pull this back up, and we're going to trim it off right at where the knot is. That knot is going to tuck up inside there, and there you go. All right, it's a nice clean cut. Now we're going to bring this up. So we got to stick this, have this come out the other hole, work it out, and grab it if you can. All right, bring this up. You can bring it up to wherever the knot is. That's on the bottom. There's knots all over this thing. Now is the time to change this out with a decorative string if you want. Okay, that's a good time to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a knot in here and pull it down, and that's the done deal. I'm going to cut the trim off. Make sure you get the proper side. That's where the plastic is. All right. Believe me, 20 years in the Navy being an electrician, you learn your errors. Learn by your errors of wiring harnesses and stuff and plugs. What to put on first, what to put on last. Okay, that's a done deal. So I'm pulling from here, and the whole curtains are coming up nice and smooth, just like brand new. My next video is going to tell you how to adjust the length of it, going on the bottom. So, hey, be sure to watch that one too. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and see a lot more. Bye.